Hey, Mark here. How you doing? Hope you're well. If you're wondering why I'm sitting like this bit of a weird position to do a guitar video is because today we're going to look at this left wrist and the placement and talk about why that's so important. So let's get stuck straight into that. So one of the big problems I see with people starting on the guitar journey is that they don't really know what to do with this hand, in terms of, obviously they know it's going to go on the fretboard somewhere, but a lot of people tend to grip the neck so that your thumb is squished over the top, your hand's all clamped up, your wrist is in an odd sort of at an odd angle there, and then that affects your shoulder. So there's so many things going on there. What I want you to imagine, if you got stuck with this and you find that you're getting like a wrist ache, or when you're trying to do your bar chords or play that your wrist gets pushed forward and it's in a really unnatural position, just think about this. Imagine someone's going to give you a great big grapefruit or a bowling ball or something, and you're just going to hold it in the palm of your hand like that. And if you look at my arm there, the wrist is totally flat. Now, you're not always going to be able to keep it totally flat like that, but the main thing is it's actually relaxed. And if I just show you something, if I was going to do a chord like that and put my hand around and do this kind of thing, like a lot of players do, I'm just sort of trying to attempt to do a C chord there. If I took the guitar out of the way, my hand would be like that, which when you think about it is utterly ridiculous. So, you know, it'd be like seeing a pianist sitting like that. Well, maybe some do. But the point is that if your hand is relaxed there, your wrist should be relaxed too. And like I said, it's not that it's totally flat, but there's several key things that happen if your wrist crunches up. Okay, for a start, if you bring your thumb and your fingers together, then you can see that your fingers are harder to move. Now, when you put the guitar there, obviously you don't want to crunch your hand up because you want as much finger mobility as possible. But the wrist there, you can see, has gone up, and I want that to come back down. Now, it's really subtle. You know, I'm not going from extreme to extreme there. It is a really subtle thing. But what I'm trying to sort of do here is to keep my hand in as natural a position as possible, because then I've got full finger mobility. And another really key thing here is that your thumb goes into a decent place. You know, a lot of people they try and play and they've got their thumb like that and they're squeezing the crap out of the guitar and they're all tense. And the other thing you do then is you close this gap up under here. So when you're trying to play chords, you get these strings not ringing through. So again, you know, if I took the guitar away, my hand would be like that. You'd go like, oh, okay, that's a really odd way to play guitar. So look, what we want to do here is we want to keep the wrist as flat-ish as possible. It's going to change because some chord shapes demand it. But what I'm not doing is I'm not pushing it up like that. I'm letting my elbow sit really sort of in a natural position. And if I sit forward, that's a bit better. I'm sitting in a comfortable position now. What they do is they get like the guitar like that, and they kind of get all uncomfortable. And you know what you want to try and do is make it as part of you, as much a part of you as you can, so that when you move this arm there, if you took the guitar sort of out of the equation, your arm would really be just relaxed and able to move up and down. So it's serving the purpose there of just gliding up and down the neck. None of this kind of squeezing up and pushing your elbow out or trying to get your wrist under there or anything like that. So if you're struggling to kind of get comfortable with that, have a little reset. Just think, okay, I'm just going to put my arm really straight, put my wrist out. Imagine someone's giving you, you know, a tennis ball, a grapefruit, a bowling ball, whatever you want, something in your hand there that you're just going to hold. And what you're going to do is you're going to just put that under the neck. Forget about your thumb. Your thumb will go last. Now, if this kind of makes sense to you and you're struggling with some of these things, I've got a couple of courses which will help you. One of them is principally to do with the strumming patterns. It's a 5-day kind of rhythm thing. But the other one is like a little mini course which deals with everything that goes from your left hand, you know, getting comfortable through to your right hand, developing your rhythm and all that kind of stuff. So if you're struggling with all of these kind of things, it's only like the price of a coffee or something in that course, and it's got an hour and a half or so's videos in it and get you up together completely from scratch, if you like, to playing a few songs in a couple of hours. If this is something that bugs you, like I said, just have a bit of a reset. Think about your thumb last. Think about how your fingers need to work. And if I come back to this other position, so I'm back there now. It's a little bit hard to kind of get the ideal angle there, but what you can see is if I just do like a C chord, okay, look at this gap under there, okay, my hand isn't crunched up, And what that means is that if the fingers are kind of where they need to be on the front there, then they're relaxed. I can move them all so I can get between chord changes nice and easily. Okay, and also my thumb is just where it ends up at the back. Okay, it's not squished around the neck. I'm not holding the neck for the sake of it. Sure, sometimes you do that. If you're doing a string bend, you want to lean into it, then, you know, you do that. But principally, if you're struggling with getting everything kind of sounding nice and smooth and you're finding it a bit of a strain, especially if you're trying to push your wrist forward, which I see beginners doing to get these chords there and putting strain there, just have a little reset. Just kind of think about, okay, am I actually comfortable? And then just get your guitar in a good position and then think about fingers first, then your thumb, and then just see where your wrist ends up after that. And hopefully you should be in a much more comfortable position to then make all the stuff that you are doing with the left hand, which, let's face it, is hard enough, isn't it? You know, trying to remember all these chords, so that then you start sounding a lot better and what you do play comes out sounding really good. Right, I hope this little video has helped you. Like I said, there's a couple of little courses I've got available if you wanted to look into this further. But anyway, all the best for now and good luck with your playing, and I'll catch you next time.